Well, I'm Eric from Maxlider Brothers Customs, and we build custom Ford Broncos and high-end Ford trucks. Yeah, so what's behind me is kind of a funny story. My wife and I were sitting watching White Lotus one night, and she says, you know, you need to build a pink Bronco and take it to Barrett-Jackson. And I said, that's a great idea. So we dubbed this one the Pink Lotus. It's a high-end Gen 3 crate Ford performance engine, 460 horsepower, made into a 10-speed automatic transmission, so it's super drivable. We're known for our ride quality, the way it steers and handles, and everyone thinks the Broncos drive poorly, and most of the time they do. But we're specialists at getting those things to be road ready and make you feel super safe. Yeah, this is not a kit car. So many vehicles that you see, the Johnny-come-lately builders, they're kind of putting a bunch of new parts, and it's not a really true Ford Bronco. This one came from the Ford in 1974. We still retained its original frame with the VIN number intact, so you've got the historical value of that vehicle. We use the axle housings, the original axle housings, and then we make everything else brand new. In terms of timeline to build one, I've got a number of different answers. It could be as quick as 3 months or sometimes as long as 9 to 12 months. But we've got various levels. This is one of our Base Plus vehicles. We've got Base Plus, Premium, Platinum, and Competition grade for those that want to win trophies at the biggest auto competitions in the United States. So behind me is a very special truck. You can see it's pretty big, a lot bigger than a Gen 1 Bronco. This is a 1974 Crew Cab F-250, and what's unique about these is they're even harder to find because they only made like 3,000 of them a year, and they came through Canada, so most of them are gone. And when you do find one, it typically has a significant amount of rust repair. So this one we took all the way down to bare metal. We did save the cab. We had to replace the bed. We literally hand built the roof because the drip rails were all rusted out. It was kind of a mess. But to have the vehicle to start with is a huge first step. Then we decommissioned the frame and transferred that to an RS4 Roadster Shop chassis that's got coilovers all around and has all the toys, so that you got a great ride quality for a long truck like this. Then we decided we'd put a crate 650 horsepower MegaZilla engine that makes this truck very unique. The build quality for us for this project is at the competition level. This will go to SEMA here this year, and we feel like it'll perform pretty well in the Battle of the Builders competition. It is incredibly difficult to build one of these, especially at the level it's been built. There are a lot of trucks that are in that nice, fresh driver grade category. This is a competition level, and so what we expose are some of the weaknesses in the supply chain for some of the parts that you need to buy. For instance, this piece right here has kept us up many a night because you can't source it. As a matter of fact, we had to borrow this one to get this to the show because this is the only missing piece to the vehicle to finish it. They just don't make this racetrack trim because you'll see it's customized. This door is a different length, and so you've got these couple pieces that have to be reshaped along with the B-pillar components. So that's just one example of many of just from a sourcing the parts perspective, what makes this a very complex build. Yeah, so inside is some pretty beautiful leather interior. Our friends at Fat Fender Garage built us this interior kit using kind of a mashup of my design and their design coming together to make something unique. You got Fat Fender panels, the seats obviously, dash. We built this really beautiful center console, it's huge, and wrapped it in leather, and we made it proportional to the vehicle, but big enough that we can tuck all of the plumbing, all of the wiring, all the stereo components, and put that in a nice streamlined fashion so you're not seeing that stuff. Well, if you've been following Maxlider Brothers Customs, you've seen that we built some pretty cool four-door vehicles, mainly 2 Broncos that we took to SEMA that performed really well and then set the world record at Barrett-Jackson a couple years ago, the white one. That was a lot of fun. We haven't built the Crew Cab Ford truck yet, but we've had customers dying to do it. Finding the donor is so tough that it just has, prolonged us being able to do that project. On top of that, the market's really matured. people will begin to invest the kind of money to build a truck at this level, and that hasn't happened in years past. You know, this truck, these crew cab dent side Ford trucks are kind of on the same ascension that the Gen 1 Bronco went through, you know, because there was a day where those were only worth $50,000 and now they're worth $250,000 and beyond.
Right.
Well, this is probably the nicest crew cab Ford truck that's been built thus far, because we had a customer that wanted to fund that project. You know, this one finished at $500,000. So, and it took a huge amount of time. Interestingly enough, this isn't the most profitable a vehicle to build because all of those nuances and those challenges just kind of suck the margin out of it. So these become passion projects. You know, these become something that we want to do to be the first to have done it at this scale. And we invest in that with the customer. And it makes it a lot of fun because when we're done, collectively, we have that thing that we're super proud of that we saw or that we dreamed up and then we're able to come to fruition. We've got an amazing team. We're blessed to have an amazing team at Maxlider that can really build whatever vehicle you want and at whatever level. And that's pretty cool. Well, for years, we've been customizing the Gen 6 Bronco and the new Bronco Raptor. And Chris and I grew up idolizing Carroll Shelby and Jack Roush and Steve Saline and the guys that not only made Ford vehicles look cool, but then they made them perform at a much higher level. And so we've always wanted to add that component to our product offering. And so we actually met up with a company called Stamper Built and Juicy Motorsports, who were working on some of this technology and have brought that fruition so that we can now do Godzilla, MegaZilla, or Coyote conversions in the new Broncos and Bronco Raptors, F-150s and F-150 Raptors. So I don't have an F-150 Raptor here at the show, but I have a Gen 6 Bronco outside that we've been taking people for rides in and just absolutely blows them away. So this is a 650 horsepower crate MegaZilla engine from Ford Performance, and it's got a ton of that low-end grunt. We took these vehicles out wheeling in Sedona, and the difference in just the way they handle the terrain and crawl up stuff, I mean, it'll just blow you away. And they sound pretty incredible too, because they've got that V8 punch, that power, and people outside the vehicle definitely take notice. Right now, we're taking deposits for builds like this. We have the technology developed and we're starting to run some betas and they're performing fantastically well. We've got some customers that are using them in the field and having great results. So we're not quite ready to put them in production, but that should happen this spring. So I feel like some of the first builds that we'll do will be completed in the next 3, 4, 5 months. So we're really close and we're really excited because it finally completes that circle that we've been striving for so long.